I do think he has earned the opportunity because he throws an incredibly good ball, a very catchable ball, and he's just so accurate. His ball placement is excellent. They had a play at the end of practice.
Nathan Zagura just dropped a bombshell that's got the entire Browns organization scrambling. The veteran analyst who's been watching Shedeur Sanders up close at training camp just said something that changes everything. He throws an incredibly good ball, a very catchable ball, and he's just so accurate. His ball placement is excellent. But here's the kicker. While everyone's been doubting whether Coach Prime's son can handle the NFL pressure, Zagura is seeing something completely different on that practice field. And what he revealed about Shedeur's character when the cameras weren't rolling? That's the story nobody's talking about. But it might be the reason this rookie is about to shock the entire league. Look, I've been following this kid's journey from Colorado to the NFL. And let me tell you something. What Nathan Zagura witnessed at Browns training camp is about to flip the entire narrative on its head. You know how the media loves to paint these stories, right? Oh, it's Coach Prime's son. He's got everything. Hand it to him. He can't handle real competition. Well, guess what? That narrative just got absolutely demolished by someone who's been watching every single snap, every single throw, every single moment when nobody else was paying attention. Nathan Zagura isn't just some random guy throwing out hot takes for clicks. This man has been the voice of Browns football, grinding it out at training camp day after day. And when he says something, you better listen. And what he said about Shedeur, it's not just praise. It's a complete game changer that nobody saw coming. But before we dive into the shocking details of what Zagura witnessed, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The doubters, the haters, the people who've been waiting for Shedeur to fail since day one. They said he couldn't handle the pressure. They said he was all hype and no substance. They said the moment he stepped into an NFL facility, he'd crumble, like a house of cards. Well, Nathan Zagura has been watching, and what he's seen is the complete opposite of everything the critics predicted. We're talking about accuracy that's making veteran coaches take notice. We're talking about ball placement that's so precise, it's leaving seasoned analysts speechless. We're talking about a young man who's not just meeting expectations, he's absolutely shattering them. And here's where it gets really interesting, my friends. Zagura dropped this truth bomb during a casual conversation, thinking nobody would make a big deal out of it. But when you break down what he actually said, when you really listen to the words he chose, you realize this isn't just casual praise. This is a veteran analyst basically saying, "Holy crap, this kid is the real deal. He throws an incredibly good ball, a very catchable ball, and he's just so accurate. His ball placement is excellent." Now, you might think, okay, that sounds nice, but every quarterback gets some praise in training camp. But here's what you're missing. Nathan Zagura has watched thousands of quarterbacks come through Browns training camps. He's seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when a man with that kind of experience uses words like incredibly good and excellent, you better believe he's seeing something special. But wait, it gets better. Zagura didn't just stop at praising Shedeur's arm talent. He went deeper, and what he revealed next is absolutely mind-blowing. He talked about a specific play that happened during practice, a live period, which is basically as close to real game action as you can get in training camp. Picture this scene. It's the end of practice, the hungry dogs period where everything matters, where reputations are made and broken. The play breaks down. Shedeur has to roll out, escape pressure, and make something happen. This is where most rookies panic. This is where the lights get too bright. This is where all that college success means absolutely nothing, because welcome to the NFL, kid. But what did Shedeur do? He rolled out perfectly, found Luke Floria running a deep over route, and had to thread the needle over the defender, placing the ball exactly where only his receiver could catch it. Nathan Zagura called it a perfect ball. Not good, not decent, perfect. And this is coming from a guy who's seen Tom Brady practice, who's watched elite quarterbacks work their magic for years. When Nathan Zagura calls a throw perfect, you better believe it was something special.
The fans that are calling for I get it. Everybody's excited it's a shiny new toy. Let's let him develop him. I'm with you.
Now, here's where the story takes a turn that's going to blow your mind. All the critics who said Shedeur would be a diva, that he'd bring circus-like drama to whatever team drafted him, that he couldn't handle being just another player in the room. Nathan Zagura completely destroyed that narrative with what he witnessed off the field. Listen to this story. because it's going to change everything you think you know about Shedeur Sanders' character. There's Jerome Baker, a veteran linebacker, talking to media after practice. Normal stuff, right? Then Shedeur comes out for his media session, and naturally, some reporters start drifting away from Baker's interview to get ready for the shiny new rookie. What happens next is why Nathan Zagura is so impressed, and why everyone who's been doubting this kid needs to sit down and shut up. Shedeur sees what's happening. He sees reporters walking away from a veteran's interview, and instead of just going ahead with his own media session like most rookies would do, he turns to the PR staff and says, "Listen, I'm not going on until they finish with Jerome Baker." Are you kidding me? This is a rookie, the son of Coach Prime, someone who could easily pull the diva card and demand all the attention. But instead, he's showing respect to a veteran, making sure Jerome Baker gets his full moment, understanding the hierarchy and respect that makes NFL locker rooms work. Nathan Zagura said it perfectly. He's being respectful to his teammates. But this goes so much deeper than just respect. This shows maturity that you rarely see from rookies. This shows leadership qualities that can't be taught. This shows a young man who understands that earning respect in the NFL isn't about your last name or your college stats. It's about how you carry yourself when nobody's forcing you to do the right thing. But the character story doesn't end there, and this is where it gets really heavy. While all this is happening at Brown's training camp, Shedeur's dealing with something that would break most people. His father, Coach Prime, had just received a cancer diagnosis. And here's the kicker. According to Nathan Zagura's sources, Coach Prime didn't even tell Shedeur or his brother Shiloh about it initially. Can you imagine carrying that weight? Think about this for a second. Your father, your hero, your coach, the man who's guided your entire career, is fighting cancer, and you don't even know about it. Meanwhile, you're trying to make an NFL roster, dealing with all the pressure that comes with being Deion Sanders' son, handling media scrutiny, learning a new system, and proving you belong at the highest level of football. But instead of using this as an excuse or letting it affect his preparation, what did Shedeur do? When Coach Prime wanted to come visit him during this difficult time, Shedeur told him, "Listen, I'm not getting that many reps right now. I'm going to just concentrate on learning what I need to do and getting it done." That's not just maturity, that's championship mentality. That's the kind of focus and dedication that separates good players from great ones. That's the mindset of someone who understands that when life hits you with curveballs, you don't make excuses, you work harder, and Nathan Zagura noticed this work ethic firsthand. He tweeted about how Shedeur is out there 40 minutes before practice and 40 minutes after practice. While other players are heading to the locker room, Shedeur's still grinding, still perfecting his craft, still putting in the extra work that champions do when nobody's watching. Tommy Rees and the entire coaching staff have been raving about him behind the scenes. They're calling him a model individual in the locker room. They're saying he's infectious in terms of energy and positivity. They're talking about how he's involved in the community, how he carries himself like a professional, how he's everything you want in a franchise quarterback. But here's what really sets Nathan Zagura's analysis apart from all the noise you hear. On social media, he understands football at a level that most people don't. He's not just looking at the flashy plays or the viral moments. He's evaluating the fundamentals, the decision-making, the progression through reads, the pocket presence, all the things that actually matter when you're trying to win NFL games. And when Zagura talks about Shedeur's accuracy and ball placement, he's not just throwing out generic compliments. He's identifying the specific skills that translate to NFL success. Accuracy isn't just about completing passes. It's about putting the ball where only your receiver can catch it, giving your guys the best chance to make plays after the catch, minimizing the risk of interceptions. Ball placement is what separates good quarterbacks from great ones. It's the difference between a receiver having to slow down and adjust versus hitting them in stride for maximum yards after catch. It's the difference between forcing your guy to make a contested catch versus giving him an easy completion that turns into a big gain. Nathan Zagura is seeing these elite-level skills from a rookie who's supposedly still learning the system. He's watching Shedeur make throws that veteran quarterbacks struggle with. He's witnessing the kind of natural accuracy that can't be taught, only refined. But let's address the elephant in the room that Nathan Zagura perfectly destroyed with his observations. All the critics who said, "Oh, it's going to be a circus. It's going to be a show." Zagura's response: "It's absolutely nothing. He comes in, he works really hard, and he's done a great job." This is coming from someone who's been there every single day, watching every interaction, seeing how Shedeur handles the pressure, the media attention, the expectations. And what he's witnessed is the exact opposite of what the doubters predicted. No drama, no circus, no diva behavior. Just a young man who comes to work, keeps his head down, and handles his business like a professional. Think about how significant this is. Nathan Zagura could have easily jumped on the hate bandwagon. He could have found things to criticize. He could have fed into the narrative that sells clicks and generates controversy. But instead, he's telling the truth about what he's actually saying, even though it goes against what a lot of people want to hear. The timing element that Zagura mentioned is crucial here, and it shows his understanding of how NFL careers really develop. He compared Shedeur's situation to Baker Mayfield, pointing out how sometimes what seems like a setback or delay in the moment actually turns out to be exactly what you needed for long-term success. Baker Mayfield went through struggles, criticism, team changes, and moments where people wrote him off completely. But look at him now. He's found his footing, he's playing winning football, and he's in a completely different space mentally and professionally. Zagura's point is that sometimes the journey isn't linear, but every step serves a purpose in building the player and person you're meant to become. For Shedeur, this time as a rookie learning behind veterans, soaking up knowledge, perfecting his craft without the pressure of starting immediately. This could be exactly what he needs to have a long, successful NFL career. Nathan Zagura understands this, because he's seen how careers unfold over time, not just in the moment. The message here is powerful. When you get your opportunity, you better be ready to seize it. Shedeur is using this time to prepare himself so that when his number is called, he can make it impossible for coaches to take him back out. That's championship thinking right there. And that's exactly what Nathan Zagura is seeing in practice. Every day, a young man who's not complaining about reps or demanding playing time. Instead, he's maximizing every opportunity, making every throw count, showing coaches through his actions that he's ready for whatever comes next. The preseason games are coming. The joint practices with other teams are coming. All the moments that really matter for evaluation are approaching, and Nathan Zagura believes Shedeur is positioning himself perfectly to shine when those lights get brightest at SO. Here's the question that should be keeping Browns fans awake at night. If Nathan Zagura, someone who's seen it all, someone who has no reason to hype up a rookie unnecessarily, is this impressed with what he's seeing from Shedeur Sanders? What does that mean for the future of this franchise? Is this the beginning of something special in Cleveland? Are we watching the early development of a quarterback who's going to shock everyone who doubted him? And more importantly, when Shedeur finally gets his chance to show what he can do in a real game, are you going to be ready to admit you were wrong about Coach Prime's son? The story is just getting started, and Nathan Zagura might have just given us the first real glimpse of what's coming. What do you think? Is Shedeur about to prove all the doubters wrong? Or is this just training camp hype? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more exclusive NFL content and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what happens next in the Shedeur Sanders story.